Welcome to the future City Hall. This beautiful building will soon house all City of Fort Worth departments, including neighborhood services. This will soon be home. But what got us here? Let's take a look back at 2023 for neighborhood services, our annual report, and how the hard work of today will help shape the future for our department.
2023, a record year for our department for helping the community we serve. We successfully spent more than $68 million over 2 years in emergency rental assistance.
2023 was a year we spent a lot of time planning for the future.
We walked the streets of the historic Marine neighborhood and threw a party for residents so they'd welcome us here and show us how they wanted to fix the area. This success showed we are valuable enough to double our efforts and help 2 census tracts every year moving forward. And this is just the start.
Very pleased with the work we've done. It falls in line with the objectives of the city manager and trying to improve Fort Worth overall.
Another great thing that happened because we were able to do the neighborhood conservation plan and the housing affordability strategy is that we had all this data that we were now able to present to the city manager's office, to the council members, and that helped us justify a tremendous increase in budget this year.
$8 million for 2 new neighborhood improvement strategies.
And more money means more work.
We did housing developments in Tobias Place, Marine Park,
Clifton Riverside, Palladium Oak Grove.
It was a busy year for housing development manager Chad LaRoque and his team. Usually there's 2 tax credit projects. This year, there were 3 times as many.
So we have a little bit more favorable environment now to get some of these passed.
Which is good because there's a lot more work to be done on the homeless front.
So the number that stands out to me now is 46, and that's the number of families we have living in cars right now.
46 families with children without a place to stay. Tara Perez and her team with Directions Home under Neighborhood Services has seen a spike in homelessness this year. The eviction moratorium's gone. Federal rental assistance has run out. We're also seeing big increases in rent. But Directions Home found solutions, like funding the Tarrant County Homeless Coalition's voucher program for families and preparing Casa de Sueños for next year.
So they're taking a really crappy motel and converting it into 55 units just for homeless families. So those homeless families will have a permanent place to stay. They will no longer be homeless, and they will have a lot of support.
A year later, 95% of those who moved in last year are still here, continuing to rebuild their lives.
It was hopeful. It was renewing. It was hard.
Hopeful, renewing, and hard. A hopeful year because the Community Action Partners spent all $10 million of its Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program funds to serve thousands in our community. A renewed year by the way the Envision Center helped shape minds through the Inspiring Young Lawyers Camp. And a hard year with the untimely death of Paula Jackson, who was a staple in the community as supervisor of the MLK Community Center. As we work to continue her legacy, it's clear she won't be forgotten. Take a look at any of our 7 community centers, each with a thriving after-school program and growing Best Years Club for seniors, as well as CAP centers. This is what we all strive for.
2023 was transformative and productive.
This was Sharon Berkeley's first full year as Community Development Planning Manager. She and her team mapped out the future of our department.
So we have successfully completed our consolidated plan, which is our 5-year strategic plan for the next 5 years for our HUD funds. And we're also in the throes of starting our new disaster recovery plan.
Our contract compliance team was able to continue monitoring our agencies.
I saw the dedication and the commitment to spending the funds, especially the CARES funds.
While the priority repair team made a record number of house calls, fixes that changed lives. What about our communications team?
We made sure everyone heard about what's going on in the Neighborhood Services Department.
Today they rolled out a 5-year-old plan they hope will solve one of their biggest challenges.
A median income family in Fort Worth can no longer afford a median priced home. The headline drawing city leaders to act. Today, Fort Worth Neighborhood Services presented a 5-year plan to improve communities and address affordability.
And we're right at the doorstep of affordable housing crisis, and so we want to be proactive in addressing that.
Here in Fort Worth, city leaders say the need for utility assistance is greater than ever.
This has been a record-breaking summer with this heat, with the need. It's just incredible.
For perspective, Fort Worth's Neighborhood Services received $11 million this year from the state to help people with electric bills. That money is now almost gone.
From January to now, we've gone through more than $10 million.
We're in the North Side neighborhood. It's between the Stockyards and downtown Fort Worth. It's one of 2 neighborhoods in the city where the goal is to bring these businesses that have been shuttered and these empty storefronts back to life.
A 5-block stretch on Main Street between downtown Fort Worth and the Stockyards.
What we consider the jewel of Fort Worth.
That's where the City of Fort Worth's revitalization pilot program with Main Street America comes in.
Fort Worth Neighborhood Service, que ayudaba a quienes necesitaban ayuda con la renta, hoy se quedó sin fondos.
$50 millones es lo que tenía disponible Fort Worth Neighborhood Service para ayudar a esas familias en este programa. Sin embargo, ese dinero se acabó.
Porque sí vemos que hay la necesidad para la renta. Por eso estamos en la posición que estamos, para ayudar a la comunidad.
As rent continues to rise, many North Texans are in need of help. But the Fort Worth Neighborhood Services says they've run out of funds for rental assistance.
Have also been notified by their landlords that their rent amounts are increasing and they can't afford it.
Terrence Jones with the Fort Worth Neighborhood Services says he's seen an uptick in people over the last year who are looking for emergency rental assistance.
A lot of moving pieces with our department, but as Victor always says, one band, one sound.
One band, one sound.
One band, one sound. One band, one sound.
One band, one sound. We continue marching to make Fort Worth a better place to live and improving the quality of life for our residents.